What's going on, guys? We are back with another replay analysis. This one coming from the PS4, which is why we're doing a video here. Hopefully the sound isn't too uneven. But we got sidcelia. He's usually a platinum in most playlists. He says he snuck in a diamond after placements in 3. So this was from a Diamond 1 game. But for all intents and purposes, we'll say he's platinum for this video. And let's just get right to it. You can go to patreon.com/Gibbs00 to get your replay analyzed. There's some other tiers there as well, but let's just go right into it. Of course, like, this can be a little bit different because it's on PS4. I'm going to be playing around with the audio a bit here. All right, crank it up just a bit. And, yeah, let's see how this goes. Rocking the Batmobile. Fancy. I like it. See how it does here. Like, immediately here, I'm not a huge fan of this touch. Oh, of course, it's on the audio now. Right here, like, if we pause, we have the one orange guy who just hit this ball into the corner. He's out of the play. He's flying. He got bumped. We got one guy sitting in net for orange, completely on the other side of the field. And then the other orange guy is on the left, but he's behind half field. So he's basically out of play as well. So I'm not a huge fan of what he does here, of how he just kind of smacks the ball right away. One reason is there's a lot of dangers in case you hit it a little bit too high. It's going to bank off, like, not the curves, like it'll just bank off the wall, and immediately goes to orange possession. The other reason is because you can control this ball a bit more, and I understand that it's a little bit hard to control, but one thing that you could do is just flip into the ball and aim it towards your own wall, so then it's rolling up the wall, and you can follow behind it by going up the wall. The ball shouldn't come off the wall too much. And even if it does come off a little bit, like, as long as you're driving behind it, then you could just do like a little side flip or something to throw it nice and high onto the other side of the field. He gets kind of lucky here because the guy misses it. He does throw it up the wall, but it does go right into orange possession, and that could have been a shot right back on his net. Luckily, the orange team missed, and now he gets to control this forward. Not a bad pass here. Go back real quick. See how both of the orange guys are not even in net, honestly. He might have been able to shoot this. But he does throw it over their heads, and that's usually the hardest to defend. It's basically balls that go right over your head. So if you do throw it above them, it's not a bad play. It gives a chance for his team to score. He gets the pass. He got the boost, though, so he should be staying pretty close by, which he does. Again, just banking off that backboard is not a bad play at all. Pretty smart. Also, it gives kind of a juicy rebound for his teammate there because the other guy kind of dives at it. Luckily for the orange player, he does stay behind it, wins this next 50-50. But those two setups were great. You can't really expect too much more from that. I do actually like this pinch play. It's pretty ballsy, but it does work. Like, he is going to have to do a 50-50 of some version here, so I do like the pinch to get it by the other player. Turning off ball cam here is actually a great vision of what's going on. He can see the white circle on the bottom of the floor, so he knows where the ball is going to be. He also has 0 boost, so he's not really expecting to do a ton here. He's just trying to see where everyone is, see what type of 50-50s he has in play, and obviously there's one attacker and one goalie once again. Couldn't do much there. 0 boost. It happens. A good decision to go for the mid boost instead of the enemy boost, because they're both up, but he's got to circle back just in case. Now he's just waiting this out. He sees his teammate kind of flirting about trying to stay in there on the left over there, but he does finally attack. So this play later in ranks is a play you want to go up the wall for and try for the wall aerial. And one thing I always say is, like, for custom trainings, definitely look for wall aerial training packs to really help you with this. Like, it's a hard play. I still suck at it because I don't practice it enough. But these plays are the perfect example of why you should. That could have easily been his ball where he drives up the wall, uses very limited boost, probably only going to use like maybe 15, 20, and make a pretty decent play to keep ball possession on the orange side of the field and actually put in a nice shot or a nice pass. But instead, he forfeits the play, which is smart, like, if you're not good off the wall, and goes back for his own boost, and the ball comes right back to him anyway. That area was just a little bit off, didn't expect the ball speed too much. His teammate does back him up, though. Sorry for the quality. Quality's not that great on this video, but that's not me, that's him, so we'll blame him. He's also on PS4, so, you know, PS4. I kid! We'll continue. Sorry. Again, not a terrible center. his one teammate really didn't have to dive for that. Like, at that point, he probably should have just stayed middle while his other teammate should be behind him in this corner. Seeing what type of play happens from this hit, it kind of goes back to him, so it kind of screws up that rotation, but still works out. He's still fighting in the corner, just trying to feed it out to the middle. Nothing really happening on those passes, but they're not threatening at all to the other side, so it's okay. One thing he could do is maybe drive up the wall, try and get even more height on it, and then get behind the ball, because the ball generally will want to flow off the wall. And then he could actually back pass it a bit, and that might have been a little bit of a better choice instead of throwing it right back into the crease on the goal line. But it does waste a lot of boost for the orange team, and then as long as you see some boost starving, it could really help in the long run. Nice play here. Both his teammates are rotating out, though. It's a little bit unfortunate for him, but that's the play he basically has to make. He's got to try for some type of shot here. Both players are out of the play. He just needs to keep that ball deep, which he does perfectly fine here. Tries to boost to get the double touch, but obviously he has no boost left, so what can he do? Now he's just stuck on the post. Good old Batmobile. Now he's just got to circle back. He's probably not going to have any boost options because his teammates probably took them all on their way back, because it was basically like a line change in hockey where everyone goes back and gets some boost, you know, instead of subbing out players for more energy. We'll go back here a little bit. So he's trying to creep up here to cause like a 50-50 or a challenge to happen, but his other teammate is staying with the play, so he probably shouldn't be this close. He does pull back eventually, but it was a little bit awkward there for a second, but it was smart by him to go back. So here we see the patented, like, I call it the greater than or less than sign formation, where you got the one guy in the corner, you have one guy in the middle around the 18-yard box, we'll call it, like right on the end of it. And then we have the guy at midfield, usually backing up the guy in the corner in case the play comes back around the wall, then he can center it. And that's the play we have here. The ball spills out to the right, and that's going to happen. Not much he can do here besides start heading towards this side of the field. This challenge is a little bit poor. The other team is pretty close to it. One thing I probably would have done is grab this mid boost and just see what type of hit it is. Try and read the play right after that hit to keep ball possession. But once again, his team is going for a line change. The two of them were super deep. They both have to get boost anyway. So no matter what he does here, it's probably not going to result in a goal. You just want to waste a little bit of time for his teammates. But by going for this challenge, he's not really wasting any time. Because if he does whiff, which he does here, it could turn into a bad play. Obviously, it doesn't here because his teammates did rotate back around, but it's always a consideration to be had. A good demo there. We can't really see the play behind it, but I do like the play. He had two teammates right after this play, right in the midfield, basically, trying for wall plays or whatever, trying for passes. So he doesn't really have a part in this play. He's going for the boost starve and then go for the goalie and then probably boost starve on the other side. So I like the play. Probably should have went for the boost over there, but I think he didn't know exactly where the ball was. Probably should have toggled his ball cam just to see what the situation was. Then he could have maybe boost starved, but it looks like his teammate's trying to do it as well. Now, he's the only one back. Again, going to waste a little bit of time. Nice patience there. Just trying to read out the play. Not the greatest hit, though, on this touch, because the other guy is still kind of there, so not the greatest hit, but it's okay. It still wasted enough time for his teammates to come support him, and that's what you want to do. Once again, like, I like this kind of passing. Like, it seems like BMX, or I think that's his name, is trying to stay involved in the plays a lot, and that's actually helping a lot for the defensive support for the passing. Here, they had two guys go for the ball. That could have been a shot. He just read this completely wrong. Like, he didn't read the ball speed at all correctly. I would have liked to see that as a high shot towards the net. Waste probably two of the players' boost. Instead, he throws it softly into the corner. Not really going to waste much there. And both his teammates, since they did just double commit, probably are not going to be too involved. We had one go for it, one fall back. BMX kind of stealing that ball a little bit from his teammate, but that's fine. That's one where you have to try and read your teammate, and sometimes it's tough to do, but there it looked like BMX was trying to make a play on the ball. That's okay. It happens. Huge back wall pass. Like, I don't mind this challenge. He's not sure exactly how much boost the orange guy has. He gets a little cautious there for a second. When he, like, if you are going to go for that challenge, just go straight for it. You don't necessarily have to shoot it, because the other guy is close to try and get a 50-50 to to get something good happening out of that. But so far, it's been a very standard game. It's like there hasn't been anything like huge mistakes or like huge bonuses or anything like that. So it's a little bit hard to analyze this so far because it's been very rotational, very clean on the rotations, but just nothing really getting involved. Here he's just waiting for the play to unfold. Like that one, he should have jumped way earlier for this. He waits just an extra little second, like right here, like ball's in the air, and he starts driving around a little bit. You don't necessarily have to be facing the right way. If you have basically no momentum to go for an aerial, he could have just jumped a little bit earlier, and so he would get the height he needs, and then he could make it up with boost because he doesn't have to turn too much to the side. He probably could have made it, but then he goes for the double jump aerial, goes a little bit too high. Looks like he's going for blocks. We'll call it blocks. At least he's trying to contest there, but just a little bit off on the aerial. That's okay. Okay, we got BMX grabbing this ball again. He's trying to creep up once again. Like he said, his offensive positioning can be a little bit off. He seems very passive for the most part, but I don't mind this because it seems like his two teammates keep diving in like crazy. So something to keep in mind. He turns off ball cam for a second, almost cost him, but he does get the play. Good rotation back. And that's why, like, you want to be passive in case those 50-50s happen. If you're the last one back in threes, you should be a little bit further back than, say, in twos. Because twos, you need to be involved. Threes, you don't necessarily have to be. Trust me, I learned this a lot on Cosmic Aftershock. You don't have to be involved on every offensive play. But that was 2 years ago. So let's get to the real times here. I'll go back here a little bit. His teammate making a really poor touch. These are kind of those pointless aerials that you just don't need to do. There's no one around him at all. He can just wait for this bounce and easily have a good clear. But for some reason, everyone loves to go in the air. Even though everyone knows that, hey, I'm better on the ground than I am when I'm flying. I can make better shots when the ball's near the ground. For some reason, everyone wants to fly in the air. He flies here for no reason. Just centers it for Orange Team. Right there, he should not have creeped out of net. I would have liked him to stay exactly where he was and try and guard the net. Probably even back up to the goal line just in case there's a midfield shot here. Kind of creeps out a little bit early. And I see this all the time on lower ranks. Whenever like I take time on hits, like even in the Diamond Champion range, it's like I'll take my time and then go for the boomer. And for some reason, the third man on rotation will always just want to creep out closer and closer to the ball, which makes absolutely no sense. Just play the goal line. Wait till your teammate is back. Like, even let him over-rotate you is not a huge deal. But if no one's in net, it makes it a lot harder. So here, his teammate was on the way back, but that would have been a really tough save for him. Say that's a top corner shot, instead of him being on the back line making an easy save. And then right there, so the ball just goes right over his head. It turns into a passing opportunity that they don't really make happen. And we'll continue. Right here again, a little cautious on the read on the walls, and I see this all the time. There's really no way to learn how to hit those balls or where the ball is going. The best thing that I can say to do is just go unranked and just go ham. Every single time the ball's in the air and going off a sideways wall, just fly to it and see if you can make hits on it. Because eventually, with repetition, you'll start learning those angles a little bit more. And you won't embarrass yourself too much because it's unranked, so who cares? A lot of cautious play here. He's got a little time. Trying to go for the pass. Oh, not even. Just goes straight for the shot, so well done there. The opponent went back. He went to the wall when he's the third man left and then left the entire net open. He also left the passing lane completely open. So right here, Sid had like a couple of options. Just takes a shot. And that's just the orange player completely disrespecting the shot on net angle. Just expecting it to go off the wall. Well done there by Sid. Call and take the shot. I like it. I never do this because I'm super lazy, but you should always say either I got it or take the shot on those. This play, not so good. The hard part is he doesn't know where his teammate is until right when he jumps. As soon as he jumps, he sees BMX come in. This is where audio comes to play a bit. You can maybe hear your teammate on your left. But right there is just a patented double commit. And that was a really favorable balance for Orange, but Orange did not get the goal, which they should have. But Like, double commits are going to happen, but audio can really help that. If you do have some good headphones, that helps a lot to hear where cars are. I would even say, for me, usually it's like where are the opponents, not the teammates necessarily. But sometimes it's good, like, say you want to be heard, use some boost early. Even if you're supersonic, use a little bit of boost so your teammate knows, like, hey, I hear my teammate's boost. He's going for this, obviously, and let that happen. Now, on the other side, when you're trying to go against the enemy and try and, like, do a surprise challenge from the side, try and boost early when you're far away from them, and then not boost when you're close, and they won't know necessarily that you're coming. You could also use a quieter car engine sound. There's a lot of really loud car engine sounds now, so if you really want to dig deep into the audio-ness, then you could even go for a quiet engine sound. That's probably a little bit extreme. I wouldn't really worry about that, but it's something to consider. So the enemy can't hear you, but then your teammates can't hear you, like if you're not boosted. So it's a little bit of a coin flip there. And there we go. That's the final of the game. Thank you, Sid. It was a little bit hard to figure out his offensive positioning, because honestly, he was the third role here. Oh, right there was the promotion to Diamond 1. There you go. I like it. I love it. But right there, he didn't really have to do a lot. Like, he had two guys in front of him. You can't really do too much in threes if you have two guys in front of you that are constantly attacking. He just had to play that midfield game and wait it out. Just didn't get a lot of shot opportunities on both sides. It was actually a relatively boring game, but I hope I analyzed pretty decently here or there where I could find some spots. But well done by Sid with the Diamond promotion. Congrats. And thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you, Sid, for the replay. And yeah, if you want one analyzed, go to Patreon. If you don't say it in the YouTube comments. Please don't. Anyway, thanks, guys, for watching, and we'll see you next time. Later.